Welcome to another episode of Plan Voodoo. I'm your host Derek, and today I'll be recapping episode 4 of Australian Survivor Heroes vs. Villains. Now, just before I get into it, I want to reach out to all of you guys. Please hit that subscribe button, that like button if you're listening on YouTube. And if you're on Spotify, give us a follow, hit that 5-star rating, follow us on Twitter as well at Plan Voodoo Pod. We appreciate all of you listening and want to grow. So yeah, it would be very helpful if you do so. Now to get into it, here are my top 5 moments of this episode. At number 5. So it's a long running joke I've seen it on American Survivor, how the pizza out there is they classified as not pizza. it's just not good. It's cold. And on Australian Survivor, for the reward, they receive pizza. And it's about, I think it was like 8 boxes of pizza for this reward challenge. The Hero Tribe wins the challenge quite handily. And they pretty much make fun of it the whole episode that it was frozen. Quite surprising to see castaways so upfront about how they feel about the food, because more often than not, they're just happy to be eating food. So yeah, that was quite the turn. I did quite enjoy that. And during that exchange, once the Hero Tribes won the pizza, we see David having 3 boxes in his hand. He opens the top flap of the first pizza box, and to me it's quite obvious there's something in there. He does it about a handful of times until he's with Sam, and they're able to get the clue for what's we believes to be a hidden media idol. And yeah, no one sees it. So as of now, the people that know that clue are David, Sam, and they shared the news also with Sean. Those 3 players. And I guess I won't mention this later on in my favorite moments, but later on with that clue, Sean finds a hidden media idol. I don't believe he hasn't told anyone that he's found it yet. I think he should keep that to himself. Yeah, don't tell anyone you have an idol, essentially. It could really burn you. He's a returning player. They would, yeah. Keep that to yourself. So at number 4, speaking of immunity idols, keeping it to yourself, Simon showed his idol to Jordy. Yes, so Jordy finally got to see the idol. It's circular with like an emerald in the middle. The reason I bring this up, so it's not as notable in the episode. It's very brief, very quick at the very start of the episode. And Jonathan, the host, says verbatim when Simon thought what he found was an immunity idol, that lights went off in my head. Alex pointed out last episode, what if it's not an idol? What if production was trying to dupe one of the players and Simon happened to be the one that stumbled upon it? Now I'm not certain that what Simon found is a hidden immunity idol. I'm honestly not sure what it is, because as far as I recall, it did not come with instructions. So yeah, we'll see. I would not be happy if I was in Simon's shoes and to find out that was not a hidden immunity idol. So yeah, things are gonna play out, and I anticipate that even if it is in fact a hidden meat idol, it's gonna be played in quite a stellar fashion. So that's to be seen. At number 3, so most of the episode, we actually get a lot more of the hero camp, and we see Haley debating whether or not they should throw the challenge to vote out Rogue. She's chatting with Sean and Ben, and then we get at the exchange at the end of it that Sean might flip it on her if she does do that, because she is a winner of the show. She's proven that she can win. Only one there that's done it. And additionally, we also see Flick and Haley kind of working together, looking for a hidden immunity idol, in which Flick is holding her cards to her chest quite tight, probably wanting to work with Haley, but not for too long if it comes to that, because for all those that know already, Flick and Haley starred on the season together, Brains vs. Brawn, season 6. And yeah, I'm sure there's some bittersweet knowing that I guess Haley was prevented Flick from being in the finale. So yeah, I don't see them long for working together. So we'll see about that. And that leads me into my number two moment of the episode, in which Haley actually follows through with her plan. She throws the challenge. This challenge, honestly, I think it was okay. A little lazy in my estimation from Australian Survivor production. I think this would have been a great immunity challenge. It pretty much was an individual immunity challenge, trying to make it a team aspect by saying two people have to stay up at the end. Just didn't sell it for me. However, it gave Haley a prime opportunity to throw said challenge, in which she stretched out with one of her arms and just fell, leaving Sharni as the lone hero up on the pole. And the villains won immunity. The first time in the season they've won immunity. And Sean was pretty clear that he knew that she threw the challenge. An athlete kind of knows when another athlete, does something like that. So it makes sense. He really has her number from what we got in this episode. Although, same thing could be said about how he perceived David when he was on Champions vs. Contenders season 4. So we'll see about that. And then I already mentioned Sean finding the idol. I do want to mention that specifically after they get back to camp, there's this one scene with Sean kind of using a palm frond to spy on possibly what Haley and Rogue are talking about at the well. Now, we didn't see a shot with both Sean, Haley, and Rogue in the same frame, so I'm not sure that he was even close to them when it was happening. But it was funny nonetheless. Reminded me, brought me back to U.S. Survivor with Tony building his spy shack and such, spy nest. So yeah, that was pretty funny. So the whole plan was to vote out Rogue for the episode, and then there was a backup plan for Jerry to be the backup vote just in case Rogue has an idol. And then Sean kind of leads the charge for Haley to be the voted out. And seems like it's probably going to go that way once we hit Tribal Council, especially after Sean finds the immunity idol. People that find hidden immunity idols or have immunity necklace tend to want to make big moves as they're perceived to be safe. And that leads me into my number one moment, in which we see one player go rogue. And yes, that is pun intended. So my number one moment is Rogue asking to be voted out by her tribe. To put it frankly, I think that's a coward move. I don't think any hero would ask to be voted out. They would try to be valiant in effort to save themselves. And yeah, I mean, she's probably going to say that it's valiant because she fell on her own sword. She put others first in their game, knowing that her days were numbered. But yeah, don't really understand the casting decision on Australian Survivor's part for Rogue. I get it. She did say some outlandish things that I personally do not agree with and I condemn. But man, yeah, she was wild. And to cap this all off for this episode, what is a hero? A hero, Rogue, is what you are not, to put it bluntly. So yeah, that wraps up my top 5 moments of the episode. If you guys enjoy, like I said at the top of the episode, make sure to subscribe. I want to hear from you guys. Who do you think wins the season, a hero or villain? I'm really vibing with the villains this season. I enjoy their camp much more than the heroes' camp. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Expect new episode tomorrow. So for those of you that did not hear our first episodes last week, the plan is for the first 2 episodes of the week, I will be doing a top 5 moments of each episode. They're going to be shorter, probably like 10 to 15 minutes in run length. And then at the end of the week, I will be doing a weekly recap with Alex, which will cover not only the first 2 episodes of the week, but the 3rd episode of the week, which I will not be covering on my own. So stay tuned for that. Those will come days after the third episode airs. So yeah, that's our running schedule for how we're gonna cover Australian Survivor. We hope you enjoy. Yeah, this is Playing Voodoo, where split vote is not safe.